Hello and welcome to Empire Total War. I've decided to do a Darth Mod campaign for Empire because Empire Total War is my favourite Total War game of all time. I really enjoy it, and this particular mod is pretty much my favourite as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through the front page of text here, and you can pause the video and just give this a read as we go down, but when we get on the campaign map, I'll go into a little bit more detail about a few things as well. So we've got campaign difficulty set to hard. I'm not playing on very hard because it gets a little bit spammy. And then battle difficulty, we've got that on very hard because morale is a little bit shaky in this game because of the impact of artillery and morale shocks, and it can again make the game quite easy. So let's jump in as the United Provinces, and when we're on the campaign map, I will give a little bit more detail on our objectives for this campaign. And welcome to the campaign map. So Empire Total War is a really interesting game. It takes place over 3 continents. Well, subcontinent, continent, and the European theatre. And then you have a variety of trade node linked places, which really drive the income of this game. And one thing that Darth Mod does better than the original is any ship can claim trade. So that's something that is definitely worth just pointing out. I picked to do Empire rather than Napoleon. I just much prefer the combat in Empire. It's a little bit slower and it's a little bit more methodical. Whereas Napoleon's a little bit more iffy at times. So we start as the Dutch Republic in a pretty interesting situation. In fact, the whole 18th century of European and world history is extremely interesting, especially in India and in America. So I'll just go through some of the major events of the 18th century. We'll have a little history chat before we get going. But you've got the 7 Years' War, which is the building blocks really of the Second British Empire. You've got the formation of the Second British Empire and the ending of the First happening within this century. So you've got the American Revolution towards the tail end of the century. You have the French Revolution, which is of course massive. And then following that, the Reign of Terror events, which is, I mean, as far as European history goes, you can argue that things wouldn't really be the same without the French Revolution. Although you could argue that for a lot of different things. But in sort of European political terms, prior to this century, you have the Protestant Reformation during the 17th century, tail end of Spanish supremacy. Spain during the 1600s is pretty much the preeminent global power of the world, and it's challenged by Britain. France is a power, but it really takes over Spain's spot within the Catholic side of power base during the late 1600s, early 1700s, and the establishment of the Dutch state during the 1600s. It's often called the golden age of Dutch history. I think the period runs from the establishment of the Dutch Republic to about now-ish, where of course you have the Glorious Revolution, where the British nobles invite the Dutch Protestant ruler to take up the crown of Great Britain. You do start to see the Dutch take a secondary role in European politics. They do form the VOC over the next 100 years and expand their influence into the Dutch East Indies, so that's modelled on the map here. And they do expand their influence in Brazil and in the Americas, but they never quite reach the level of power that they had during, for example, the 30 Years' War, where you had Sweden and various other states all getting quite involved in the Holy Roman Empire, which was going through the Protestant Reformation. That's the sort of the main thing. In other news, going on literally as we speak, so starting in the year 1700, you have the Great Northern War, which is a really interesting war. It's probably one of the ones I've read up about the most, where Sweden is in a long-term war with Russia, and they score some very, very important victories against Russia, Poland, Lithuania, and Denmark. They actually start, I think, at war. I'm not sure if the game models this, but I'm pretty sure they start at war. Maybe they don't, but in real life, they got into war with Denmark, Poland, Lithuania, and Russia, and actually held their own, Sweden. And that's off the back of, again, the 30 Years' War, where their king Gustavus was a pretty pivotal part of that 30 Years' War period. But yeah, it's an interesting period of time, and it's often called the Enlightenment era, there was a lot of thinking, shall we say, about the ideas of republicanism, and it does really give rise to the birth of modern European politics, really, this 100-year period. In some non-European aspects, I mean, I guess the Ottoman Empire would be classed as European, but obviously they have an empire which moves into Arabia, etc. But the Ottoman Empire isn't quite the sick man of Europe at this point. They're still a massive power. And for about a 20-year period, they go through a major period of peace and again, Enlightenment thinking within the Ottoman Empire and the Ottoman sphere. So they have quite a lot going on. In India, you have the Maratha Confederacy, the death of the Mughal Empire. So the Mughals are a medieval empire. And then you start to see a medieval Sunni empire. I should probably... are they Sunni or Shia? They're one of the two branches. And the Marathas are a Hindu-based empire. So there's tensions there. Britain starts with Calcutta. France starts with the Cuttack, Orissa, Sirkars region. And we start with Ceylon. But there's quite a lot happening in India in this period. In Africa, you actually have the establishment of Freetown, which is a quite major thing. It's backed by, I believe, a British abolitionist, and it's the formation of a free state for freed slaves. So it's, that's a good little interesting part of history. You have the slave rebellion, I believe, against French rule in Haiti that occurs during this time period as well. And of course, as I've mentioned earlier, the American Civil War, which was a really major part of obviously British and American history, because there would be no American history without it. So let's jump into the game. I realise there's a little bit of preamble, but I really do enjoy the history of this period. So let's have a little look at our starting situation. So we've got some schools, which is very nice. And one thing that I do always do in this game is I burn down any industrial buildings on the European heartland, and I build up a little bit of schools. Purely because it's always worth grabbing some schools, and I think we're going to want the Opera House because a little bit of extra research is always good, and getting some more agents out would not be a bad thing. Now, our starting army, we've got a couple of generals and some dog crap units. Now, the pikemen only have a morale of 6, and they are a dying force on the battlefield. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disband them. I think we'll keep one in the town, just in case. Let's get the militia. Right, and I can see we've got the nucleus of a little army here. One thing that we're going to want is probably more line infantry. So let's build up a little force and send our agent into the school. So this is the gentleman that will research. And what do we want to get first? I think empiricism is... Empiricism? Yeah, let's go with that. Because we're going to want the research rate boost and a couple of things and a research time decrease for all technologies. That's the sort of thing we like. And then we can jump on to social contract and psychocracy. Welcome to pronouncing things with AFG. Okay, so into America then. So America, they simulate, because of course during this time period there's also quite a lot of pirates. And we've got New Spain and Dutch Guyana. Okay, so we've got a couple of holdings in America, and we're going to want to clean up the pirate bases. Now, naval-wise, let's have a little look-see. I think another 5th rate would not be a bad idea. And they've got some militia in there. We don't need basic roads on an island. It's not really necessary. Colonial line infantry. What's the difference between you? You cost less. But we can only have 4 of you. Okay, well, we're always going to want to build the cheaper unit options. And we are in the middle of making Trinidad, or sorry, making Ceylon a slightly better place. So I think a barracks maybe. Let's get a cannon foundry. We'll get a governor's residence and a, yeah, we'll just build this place up. Start getting that ticking on over. Now, navy-wise, we've got a sloop, a brig, and a sick freight. So not actually a particularly good navy here, it's got to be said. We can get ourselves a fifth rate, and I wonder, can we promote... Recruit an admiral. Can we recruit an admiral from that sixth rate? Okay, we've now got ourselves a relatively crappy little admiral there. Very good. Okay, and we've got a few little units. Let's grab ourselves... Do we need any more? I don't think we need any more garrison here at the moment, and we might as well convert this place to Protestantism. Now, we do have a little navy here with a load of flutes, so that's not too bad. And... yeah, we know that there's probably some pirates somewhere around here. We're going to want to keep our fleets together. So there's a pirate group there. A pirate group here. And we can't see anything over here. Okay, so. Now, we've got a navy here as well. And you know what? We might as well put you in the town. Keep everyone together. Yes. Now, naval recruitment-wise, let's get ourselves a fifth rate. And I don't think we need a state capital. As much as extra research for military techs would not be a bad thing. Okay, so all looking good on there. Now, yeah, we haven't got a huge amount of income to be playing with, but we've got a lot of money in the bank, so to speak. So we start allied to Austria and to Great Britain. Now, we're probably going to want to keep the alliance with Great Britain for definite. Our main adversaries are probably going to be Spain and maybe France. We want to try and maybe keep France happy for as long as we can, but they are allied to Spain, and you know, we're hostile with Spain. Spain hates us, so we're gonna... I mean, there we go. What a beautiful face you've got going on there, Carlos. But I think in the, you know, the more in the east that we can do to keep things happy, the better. So let's have a little chat with Poland, Lithuania. They're allied with Russia and Denmark, but they don't want to be allied to us. I do wonder, Sweden. Yeah, we don't want to... As much as having a grand Protestant alliance would be good, Prussia are very weak. Well, militarily they're quite strong, but they're very weak in the sense that if they don't get an alliance with Poland and Lithuania, they get pretty steamrolled over here. So let's have a look at our neighbours then directly. We've got Spain, as I say, that probably won't want to trade with us. Yeah, and they can't. But let's have a look at minor nations. So Hanover, you're a friend. Let's request a trade agreement. Oh, you don't want a trade agreement. And Westphalia, how about you? Do you want a trade agreement? How about we give you indefinite military access? No, not interested. Okay, well, you know what? We'll pay you. We'll pay you for some trade. And let's give you payments. And we'll offer you £1,000. How about that? Oh, they don't want to trade. Okay, well, fine. Whatever, you don't want to trade with the mighty Dutch, then fuck you, I guess. Right. And then finally, we're building some units up here. We've already got a military governor barracks, which is very nice. Ah, yes, Dutch Guyana. Yeah, we want to build that logging camp up. We want to build that gold mine. And that gold little mine. Get ourselves our governor's residence. And I think another unit of colonial militia would not be the worst thing in the world just for now. And we'll build up the roads. So we've still got a pretty decent chunk of change. Let's end the turn. And just see how the pirates move out. Now, the auto-resolve appears to favour us. So now that we've dropped that autosave, let's see if we can't auto-resolve it. And we did get a victory. Okay, so we lost 2 and they lost 2. But we can add their ship to our fleet. Sadly, we lost the 6th rate though, and they've still got their 5th rate, which ain't that good. Trade route raided. I assume that that's the one of these a-holes, and yeah, we're losing a little bit of money, or we're very equal on money at the moment, so let's be a little bit careful. Now, hopefully our shipbuilding program will continue onwards. Speaking of which, did I build a ship in... Ah, I didn't. Okay, we need to get a 5th rate building there. Okay, we've got 1 turn on you. And we can get a couple more units. I think we're going to want demi-cannons. We're going to want to build up the infrastructure. And then let's get another couple of line infantry. Good old bog standard line infantry. And another school. Schools are important. Okay, so making good money here. Navy-wise, you're a decent enough navy. You're building a 5th rate for me so that you can go deal with what's left of these pirates. And I think that'll represent another end turn. Okay, so we have a war here. Prussia is allied to Great Britain. Now, I don't want to enter the war on the side of the ally and then fuck up my alliance with Britain. So we're going to decline that war with Austria. Poland and Lithuania are interested in an alliance. Now, I don't want to do this, but I wonder. That's a shame. Okay, so Austria, Great Britain are no longer friends. Oh, I did forget we had a rake. Let's see if we can't... I don't want to risk trying to assassinate someone with you. Let's just keep an eye on Flanders. And yay, some more ships coming online. Now, we do as well as the Dutch have elections I think it's every couple of years. I'm not sure if that timer changes because I've got the game set to do 4 turns a year. But what we can do is we can get rid of people that aren't as good. There we go, and get a little bit more on diplomatic relations, which is very nice. Happy days. Okay, so demi-cannons still being built. Let's get another couple of line infantry. And then we'll want some cav to round out that mix. And yeah, we're still making decent money. Let's get ourselves another couple of 5th rates. And I think, I mean, the thing is, you cost 2,000, yeah, quite a fair amount of money, whereas the flutes cost, yeah, even more than that. And is there any reason not to go for you over you? No, the 5th rates are better in every way. So we're going to build 5th rates, left, right, and centre. And you're still building, yeah, your one. Navy-wise, this is a really decent little navy we've put ourselves, you know, got together here. Let's build another 5th rate. And then we can move on Antigua and San Jose. Or Jose. Yeah, I'm not sure where that single pirate ship has gone. So, hopefully they've effed off. But we're going to keep our relatively damaged fleet together for now. Okay, and yes, we did want to build some more stuff. So let's get ourselves cobbled roads. I don't think we need any more colonial militia or anything over there. Apparently we can build the deep -1. Let's try and not build any unhappiness at the moment. Okay, so colonial light infantry. Any more of you? Yeah, we can have a couple more of you. And we could do with a little bit of artillery over here, actually. Once we finish building up this army, we're going to send it off. Maybe a little bit of cav, actually. Can you recruit cav? No. Okay. Disappointing. But I think we'll take a, a colonial army of infantry. We might as well build a general out of you as well. So, Joost van Dusen. What a good name. Oh, and you've got, I must say, you've got a great picture, sir. 27 as well, quite young. Hey, what a good looking bloke. Hopefully he turns into a decent commander. Okay, still making decent bank. And waiting for that school to finish. Right, let's end turn. Okay, there's a sizable little fleet of pirates there that we're going to need to be a little bit careful about. Now, we could take this army and move it out somewhere, which might be a good idea. Now, we've managed to avoid getting dragged into this war with Austria and, dealing with all of this. Although, I must say, Prussia's already expanded out a little bit, so things aren't going quite as bad as they normally do for Prussia. Let's, provincial cavalry. Let's get a couple of regiments of horse. And we've got 2 demi-cannons, that's definitely enough. Let's disband the pikemen now, because we're not going to need any more of them. And that'll save us a little bit on upkeep as well. We've got 2 units of militia. We want to probably... Yeah, and we can get better militia or conscripts. You know what? Let's take the army. We'll leave behind the lesser general. And then have a look at what it needs. I mean, provincial cavalry are not very good. And they do cost a fair amount. You know what? You guys as well, I don't think you're required. Right, so that's balancing our books a little bit more. Let's, yeah, we've got 2 units of cav. That's probably enough. We've got 3 units of demi-cannons. We'll have 2 units of cav. Yeah, and then we'll call it there. Let's build up another unit of militia. So, yeah, you guys cost 184. Yeah, the stats on these guys are just immensely worse. Oh no, immensely better. Hey, you know what? We'll take some more dodgy militia. Okay, we've got another 5th rate building here. Let's send our army out then. So we'll take you and embark you. And you know what? We'll leave the... You know what? Let's take the entire navy, because there's going to be a ship in there anyway. And let's head on out to America with our Grand Fleet. Okay, we've got a hermit or something. Something going on there with one of our ministers. The justice guy is looking a little bit worse. Let's... What can you... Hopefully we get you or you. Okay, this guy is a slight improvement. +1 to repression, -3% to the cost of town watch. Okay, so he's helping us a little bit more on income than the other guy was. Very good. Okay, and we're building up. Yeah, we're building up very nicely in Ceylon. And you know what? We'll get some basic roads over there as well. And we can start building some more colonial units. But I don't really want to waste upkeep over here if I can help it. Speaking of which, how much are you costing? The general's free. I can't remember. There's not much point having you just over here. Right, navy-wise, yeah, we're going to wait for that 5th rate and then we'll move out. And we're going to make a little bit more money again next turn. Right, let's end the turn once again. And then hopefully we'll get that school. Right, I've identified the pirate scum. And here we go, our fleet has arrived. Now, we're carrying a pretty major army here. So let's take them. And I think we're going to want to land them on the pirate homeland. Let's see if we can't land you just immediately there. Beautiful. And hopefully you can move quickly to take that. Now, from here... yeah, we've got a nice little navy that we can pull together. And yes, that's our school. And Saxony just got blown the hell up. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, it went to Austria. Okay, that's somewhat disappointing. Let's have a look at diplomacy and see how friendly people are with us. Austria is hostile, France is hostile, and Spain is hostile. It's amazing that we're not at war with any of them yet, to be completely honest. Bearing in mind how hostile they all are. Let's get you into that navy as well. And then, yeah, there's our little colonial army of militia. Let's get you into here. And, yeah, we're losing a decent chunk of change now. But we can change that, as we can send out our navies now. You're going to go to the East Indies, and we're going to definitely get our trade together. Now, schools. We've got ourselves another school here. Now, it'll take a long time. We want to pick something that's quite cheap, like the plug bayonet, just to get that going. We've got a single ship to keep our trade looking okay. And I think we should build one more 5th rate. And I think we're going to sacrifice a little bit of a town watch. Yeah, we're losing money, which is not good. You guys cost a little bit. And what's the dominant religion here now? I have no idea. Oh, Buddhism. But Protestantism is on the rise. I can't remember the Buddhist icon. Oh, I forgot the cav. You know what? Right, it's only costing us 608 now. Yeah, you cost 100. Let's ditch you as well. Let's just want to balance the books. 240. We need to probably ditch one more thing. How about a ship? Can we disband a ship? Yeah, I'm not a fan of sloops. And how much do they cost? 147. Then again, they're good for trade. We'll disband one sloop. Right, 93. We won't be bankrupt. That's the main thing. And then next turn we can lay siege to Antigua, and then hopefully as well we can move on San Jose with the army down here as well. Okay, and path blocked. Now we've got a fleet arrival. Yes. Now, where is? Aha, here we go. So we've identified the pirate fleet. Now, yeah, it is just the 5th rate that we damaged. Let's see if we can't auto-resolve win this. So sometimes the auto-resolve in this game is fucked. Okay. Nope, looks like we're fighting it, everyone. Right, so our first naval battle on the map. Let's jump on in. And I think combat has just been joined. So I did fast forward a little bit. But they've got one ship with 38 guns remaining. And they look like they've taken a little bit of structural damage. Minor, but a little bit. Hopefully we can now bracket you astern when the time comes. Right, down to 34 cannon. And hopefully you've got the range now to unload. Not bad. Ooh, landing some decent hits. Well, it seems to me like they fire more accurately than us. I don't know why it feels that way. It just always seems to feel that way when I play Empire Total War, that the AI seems to rather unfairly do better than maybe they should. It's very frustrating that you're taking the amount of damage you are from them, from that sort of range. But we do have our 5th rate now closing the distance. See what I mean? Our guys don't seem to be as good at shooting. Good. Right, down to 30 now. The majority of which are probably only on one side of the ship. 29. And on fire. That's always a good thing when you're on fire. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to deselect the group because we don't want it to do group orders anymore. We want everyone to move of their own volition. No! Groups in this game are hazardous. As you can see, naval warfare boils down to a lot of very slow units moving around very slowly. That's why I'm going to... Ooh! Right. That's got to be it now. Surely. Ooh, beautiful. Right, wavering. Let's see if we can't cause them to rout. What we can do is we can go to board them. Right, our own ship is wavering. Rather frustratingly. But... Right, we're nearly there. Come on. Off you go. There we go. Beautiful. And there we go. Surrendered. So we got a ship there. Very nice. And we didn't lose 4. Of making us play that battle rather frustratingly. Okay, and with that, we now control all of the trade around here, which means it's time to send our fleets out. And to be honest, I'm actually going to demote you. And I think we're going to... oh, I cannot promote an admiral at this time. Very shame. For shame. We could have taken the pirate admiral because I was impressed with him. Okay. Now, money-wise... Hey, 4,000. That's what we want. That's what we like to see. Okay, so let's jump on in. So we've got some pirate mob. Let's see if they'll accept a surrender. Hey, if they want to fight, then we'll assault them. Let's jump onto the battle map and see some muskets in action. How long would it take to siege? Oh, you know what? Let's just go for it. And what are they targeting? They're targeting the infantry line, so in which case, yeah, we're definitely going to stick with this. Because they don't have any cav, we don't need to worry about defending our artillery that much, which is kind of good. And I do love mortars. They are one of my favourite parts of this game. And I am going to have the effects turn loud, because who doesn't enjoy that? Beautiful sound of artillery firing. Come on. Hit them. Come on, open fire. There we go. Beautiful. So mortars are very good against infantry. That's generally their best units. Yeah, you've already hit that one. Come on. I don't know why there we go. Artillery's behaving a little bit weird. There we go. They're obviously just not very with it. Okay, so they're down to 19. We can afford to lose some infantrymen for the basis of taking out these guys. And we've got a very defensible position over here. So not too worried about anything like that. There's no, like, loose formation in this game as you would imagine it. Come on. Right, down to 16. Right, go for this one now, because you're landing your shots a little bit weird. Right, the militia are slowly moving on up. There we go, beautiful. Ooh, right. Yeah, we got a really good hit there. Now, our line infantry do definitely outmatch theirs. Their pirate mob will not do very well. Although, I've got to say, the mortars are doing more damage than I'm giving them credit for. Normally, the mortars aren't very effective. Ooh. That's not very good. Ooh, not good at all. Right, I'm actually going to pull all three of you back and form a straight line. Because, yeah, that mortar damage has been stacking up. This is where having a little bit of cav actually makes a bit of sense. But what we can now do is we can now outflank. Right, turn around please, if you'd be so kind. There we go, beautiful. Right, they can return fire properly now. And they're in a defensive position, so they're going to be fine. So they're down to 3. Let's take you. Get you to fire there. Ooh. Alright, General, this is where you come in. Keep them in the fight. going to lose more than I honestly thought we would here, but... that's okay. Right, there we go. That's one routing over there. Right, down to 14, 18. Right, come on. Hit him, please. For Pirate Mob, their morale is holding up very well. Right, good. That brought them back in. We can send you around the flank, and then you guys can hold there. Right, let's cause another set of them to run. Okay, so 14, yeah, 18. Come on. Why aren't you firing? Come on, open up. Gotta say, the artillery's not normally this spasticated. Normally the artillery sorts it out. But something about that middle group, they just don't want to do it. Right, hopefully that causes them to run. Our line infantry are performing really poorly. Normally they don't perform this poorly. Like, wow, okay. Amazing what a difference very hard makes. I don't normally play this game on very hard. But, colour me intrigued. Right. We've been duking it out with the artillery and we're not winning it. Wow. Seriously. Everyone's running. Like a nutcase. What the hell? Very bizarre. Okay, well if that's the case, we'll double up. You've got an experienced chevron. Let's move you up. Let's move that line infantry around the flank. Get some flanking shots. There we go, that might be a little bit more like it. Sustaining some actual losses here. Shocking. Right, and yeah, the artillery duel is bizarre. Right, 14, 14, 18. Go over there now. There we go, that's turning that battle around. I imagine the mobs are doing better out of this because they can actually attack in larger groups. Now, if we need to, I guess we can send our general around, but it's nah, we don't need to do anything else. Oh, no. Get out of there. Right, give them a volley, please, over there now. Let's see if our artillery can't demolish this unit. Go, go, go. There we go. That was what was required. Yeah, the only thing I can put it down to is the fact that, you know, Mob can fire in one volley, so therefore are actually superior in the early game to our line infantry that can only do single lines. So we need to be as thin as possible. Right, and hopefully... Where are you? You're on that flank now. Right, let's bring you around. Just continuously push them back. And they're running again. Everyone's running. Beautiful. Right, let's take the general up the center now. Right, have you got a shot, please, on them? Well, I say countercharge. If that's what they want, that's what they'll get. Right, and then we can take our general. Let's go for it. Right up the center. Right, you two. Go for the pirate mob, please. Right, they're broken. And we're going to be in a very easy position now just to clean them up. This has been a weird battle. This is why we need to get our tech up a little bit. Right, let's hold up with our artillery. Right, so that's you. On to the next one, please. And jobs are good in here. Okay, and then the final artillery crew. Right, that's them all running. The artillery finished this, you know, battle for us. It's a shame that we lost as many as we did. That was not, you know, the ideal result, but we can probably turn it around quite quickly. Come on, finish it. These artillery crewmen are, you know, they're nothing compared to you. The morale seems a lot stronger on Very Hard. Right, that's the end of the battle then. And that is an heroic victory, apparently. The game has no faith in me. Okay, 1 for 1. Not that great. Line infantry, though, all doing very well. We don't have enough money to repair things. And next turn, we'll have enough money to make our troops a little bit better. Did you seriously just get a -1? And a minus... Oh, you're a terrible commander, actually. No wonder we were doing shit. Right. Jesus. He's the worst. Okay, and then I think what we should do is we should probably load this general up with you. Let's take the army. Apart from the colonial militia, we'll leave them behind. Let's load you in. And then let's head for that port. Beautiful. And then from there, we can disembark all of our units. And I think for this battle, let's do a siege and then make them come to us a little bit more actively. Okay, let's probably an end turn now, near enough. Although with this navy, we could send them to Brazil. No, we could leave you behind. But send the majority of our crappier ships. Yeah, let's send them to Brazil. And I think I'm going to call it an episode here. We will start the next episode taking on Jorge Kid against Doost van Duzen. Let's see if we can... we're going to use our cav a little bit more aggressively and our infantry a little bit more aggressively this time. That's for sure. So I will see you in the next episode of the Dutch campaign. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.